Hello everyone. We are going to be in the city today. We are on 6th Avenue. We're going to be walking all the way down to Central Park over on 59th Street. So we're on Waverly Place right now. That's where we're starting, I guess you could say that. And we will make our way down 6th Avenue. I wanted to get past that generator. That's why I got quiet. So yeah, it's been a while since I've been in the city. I actually had somebody comment about it. And I should do more of these walks in the city. But what I had explained was, you know, I worked in the city for over 20 years. And that and everybody has a camera and is uploading their walks that they take in New York City. So I guess there's a couple of reasons why I don't come out here a lot. Yeah, this guy's got a Navy shirt on. I wonder if he was in the Navy. I don't recognize him. And when I have a chance, I will show you guys some architecture. We will be getting down to, we get down to the 40s. We will be hitting the skyscrapers. And interesting little tidbit. Half of my career was spent working in buildings on 6th Avenue in a very small, condensed area. Pretty much I've worked in almost every building, starting at the Bank of America Tower over at Bryant Park, all the way down to 59th Street. So, including Rockefeller Center, 1251. So, when we get down there, I'll talk about that.
Sidewalls, it fills on the side.
Temperature outside is warm. It is a summer type morning. It is 82 degrees out. It feels a little muggy. Definitely feels steamy out. Probably gonna stick on the shaded side mostly. I mean, I'm sure I'll cross over. You know how I do these. When I do these straight line walks on an avenue, I tend to, I'll cross over every once in a while. I'll probably favor the shade side more. We're not in the busy part of the city yet. Well, we get down to like the 30s. It'll start to pick up as far as crowded sidewalks. Got one of these newer buildings on 6th Avenue here. We'll take a look at it in a second. Looks like a Lego building. Nice big windows. So yeah, I was saying earlier, I've worked half of my career on 6th Avenue. I worked in the tech industry for over 20 years. I think this is where we'll cross, do some sunlight walking here for a second. So one thing about 6th Avenue is, like, when you're crossing these intersections, the lights are always changing. So what I'll do is I'll usually try to keep the flow going. I'm gonna go right in front of this car. That's how we do it in New York City. If we see a car just take a little bit of time coming across a crosswalk, we're gonna go right by the guy. I wouldn't suggest doing that if you're not, you know, nimble or anything. Because, you know, I've seen people fall. I've seen people like rush across the street and fall right in the middle of the street, and then the car has to come to a screeching halt. So I wouldn't suggest doing that unless you really feel comfortable knowing that you're not going to trip and ends up underneath the guy's wheels. I didn't mention what time it was, as I didn't do a time check. So I'll do it now. It's 10:30 in the morning. Dave's. If you hear the trains running below us through these grates, you have the local trains. Now here's another instance where I'm gonna cross over against the light. So underneath me is there's 4 train lines underneath me. You've got the F and the M, which is what you're hearing. If you hear them, there's local stops and then there's express stops, right? So the express trains are the D and the B. But pretty much every train you're going to hear underneath us, if you hear a train when we're walking by those grates, is either the F or the M. Until we get to like 34th Street. So the express stops, you know, if you get on like the D or the B train, you're not gonna hit all the local stops like 8th Street and 14th Street, 23rd Street. I got off at West 4th Street, so the next stop after West 4th Street on the D train is 34th Street. So it's just a long stop. And if you were to kind of visualize where the trains run, the local trains run underneath the sidewalks, and the express trains run under a tunnel in the center of 6th Avenue. Wow, every intersection I cross, I do not have the light, but I'm making it across without having to wait. It's pretty good. I don't know if we can see the Empire State Building up there. It's on 34th Street and 5th. Get back across the street because I just saw a place that I like to eat. Yeah, Blick is here. Blick is a big art store here in New York City. You might have actually ordered something from their online website. Got an old church right in front of me. Here we go. Sophie's. I can't tell you how many Cuban sandwiches I've had at Sophie's over the years. And how many different Sophie's I've been to in New York City. So anybody that lives in New York City knows what I'm talking about. It's a good place to eat. Grab something to eat for lunch. They got a lot of great things on their menu. When I was working, yeah, Trader Joe's over there. When I was working downtown over by the I was at the World Trade Center. I know there's a Sophie's down there. I always forget where it is, but it's down over by Fulton Street. And that was the one we would always go and sit at. I don't know if it's still there, but you would, it's pretty noisy over here, but you would walk in there and then, you know, it would be the food area, like where you get your food, and then in the back, it was like a big seating area. So all the guys used to go there like all the time for lunch on a Friday. We just sit back there and hang out for like an hour. You got Chick-fil-A on the corner of 22nd. I could start a riot in the comment section if I say that I don't think Chick-fil-A has the best chicken sandwiches. Yeah, I've gotten into so many arguments at work, any place I worked at. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. I think Chick-fil-A sandwiches are good, but I don't think they're the best chicken sandwiches. I guess it's all hype, but I can't tell you how many fights I get into over that whenever I make that comment. But it's up there, you know, it's definitely top 5. I want to get across this street, and I'm gonna get across it. And that taxi cab followed me around the bus. I don't know if you noticed it in the frame when I was going behind the bus. There was a taxi cab stuck behind the bus, and when I walked around the bus, the cab followed me. Yeah, one thing I'll tell you right now, I could walk very dangerously in the city. So by no means do I want anybody trying to replicate the way I walk in streets or crosswalks. I don't want to get people killed if they come here and think they could, you know, I'm not trying to sound like cool or anything, but any local New Yorker knows what I'm talking about. Like, there's like a certain temperament you have to have when you decide to go through crosswalks when the lights are red or green or changing or whatever. How to read the drivers. You got to make eye contact. I made eye contact with the cab driver because I didn't want him to run me over or pin me up against the back of the bus. But yeah, you'll see me do that a lot. I know some people will probably watch and say, man, he's not paying attention, or he's not being safe. But trust me, I've been doing this a long time. Walking in New York City, man. So. All right, we're gonna cross over. So we got a light again. Two Brothers Pizza, still the cheapest pizza around. Nowadays it's $1.50 and $4 for 2 slices and a soda. And you come in here and all they do is serve pizza, that's it. And the pizza is good, by the way. I remember when they first came out, I was kind of skeptical, you know, because I'm a Brooklyn guy, so I rate everything against Brooklyn pizza, because personally I think Brooklyn has the best pizza, so out of the 5 boroughs. But I was surprised when they first opened up many years ago. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. And that's when it was, you know, $3 for 2 slices and a soda. Now it's $4. In Brooklyn, 2 slices and a soda, unfortunately, will cost you $7. So it's just kind of crazy. I don't, I no longer buy, I don't drink a lot of soda anyway, but I no longer buy soda at the pizza place. I usually just I'll bring water with me. Because some of the pizza places charge like $2.50 for a can of Coke. I'm like, it's crazy. Especially when you consider a case of Coke in a supermarket costs $7. You get 12 cans for $7. It'll cost you $5 just to get 2 cans at the pizza place. Got a lot of green. Smells like a forest over here. It actually smells really nice here. Wow. There goes a shot of the Empire State Building. This is the one clear shot you'll get of the Empire State Building until we get back to we get over to 34th Street. You see, the traffic is starting to really thicken up down here because we're getting close to midtown. All right, this is a dangerous cross right here during a red light when you got cars wanting to make it up a turn, so you got to watch here. Let these people get through. Thank you. All right, you let me go through. I was gonna go around him, but he stopped. It's gonna start getting busy from this point on, so we're in the 30s now. So it's 30th Street right here. I do want to make it back across the street, so I'm going to take this light as soon as it changes. I guess I can go now. Another thing I want to point out, I know a lot of times it doesn't look like it, but my eyes are pointing a lot of times in a different direction that the camera is. So a lot of times it'll look like I'm about to, blindly walk through an intersection, but my head is turned. I'm definitely watching traffic. You see that pointy looking building up there with the big spire? That is the Bank of America Tower. I worked in that building for a number of years. I didn't work directly for Bank of America. I was a consultant for them. I would say maybe about 15 years ago now. But I'll tell you that being in that building has some amazing views of New York City. And I also got some cool videos of some old cell phone videos of them washing the windows. They got like a crane up there, and they'll just drop the, you know, the scaffolding down the side of the building. I'm sure you've all seen it, the window washers. It was a very nice building to work in. We're over at the Path Station. It's Penn Station straight in front of us right there. That's what you're looking at. That's Penn Station up there. This is Greeley Square right here. Greeley Square. Of course, if any of you recognize the area, we are about to pass Macy's. We were here during the Christmas season walking around when the Macy's was all decorated. And there's Macy's right there. For all you Macy's fans. They used to have a DMV in this building. I don't know if they still do, but I used to go to DMV over here. I don't know if they still have it in there. It's 34th Street right here, and I'll give you guys a look. Well, considering the angle of the sun, I'll try to give you guys a look at the Empire State Building. It looks like it's gonna, well, we'll be able to do it, I think, when we get across the street. Well, the sun is going to be right in the frame, so that's the best I could do. Now this area is what I used to call my second neighborhood because I worked in so many buildings over here. I worked in a building just right down the block on 7th Avenue over here on 35th. Worked in a building on 39th Street. I worked in a lot of these buildings on 6th. So this is an area of 6th Avenue I know like the back of my hand. Oh, hit the light. Now we got another Chick-fil-A coming up. This is the Chick-fil-A I used to go to. I remember when it first opened up, how crazy the line was going down 37th Street. I'm gonna take it. There you go. There was a car coming down on me, so. Try that again. Hayer building. It looks like they moved Chick-fil-A upstairs. I mean, because I see tables up there and stuff. Maybe they're doing work here? Oh, it looks like it's closed. Let's see what the sign says. It's closed for renovation until early July. All right. I was saying when that, so I remember the first day. So actually, this now I got Five Guys. Five Guys is just a couple doors down. This is also, so all these places, like these is where I went and grabbed lunch all the time working around here. Pizza Town is another spot. But when Chick-fil-A opened, I remember the first day it opened, it was raining. It was really coming down, and nobody was even going there. And I was able to walk right in and walk right out with food. The second day, however, was a different story. The second day, the line went all the way around 37th Street. So we are in Skyscraper Town. From this point on, we will be walking by all these buildings. We are right outside Bryant Park. And this is really where it starts getting crowded down here. I'm gonna stick to the outside of the sidewalk. So these first two buildings coming up, this is the Salesforce building right here. I worked in this building for a number of times doing server installations in some of the server closets they have here for various companies. I'm not going to read off all the names of the companies I worked for because it's, you know, there's just a lot of companies. The only exception I will make is obviously Bank of America, because the Bank of America tower here at One Bryant it's a as far as I know, if it still is, a non-tenant building, which means that the whole building is filled with just Bank of America employees. So get out of these trees so you guys get a look. Like I said, this is a beautiful building. Across the street, they have a nice atrium that you could hang out in. It's open to the public. What I'll do is I will walk by it. We're not going to go in it, because I'll tell you the security. One thing about the Bank of America tower, their security guards are extremely strict. A lot of the security guards are ex-cops, so they're not going to let you film. And they're very good at seeing people with cameras. I mean, they'll see you like 100 feet away with a camera, and they'll come running up to you and they'll tell you, hey, gotta turn that camera off. So I'm not gonna waste my time trying. But I remember working here I wouldn't exactly say it's Fort Knox getting in here, but you know, security is very good here. There's always cops posted. There's a couple of cops right there. There's always some cops posted outside. You got a couple of security guards out here. And this is the atrium right here. It's a beautiful atrium. It's pretty much hasn't changed since they opened the building so many years ago. So it still looks the same. It's always has in there. It's actually a place where sometimes you'll find a lot of good chess games going on in here. Well, it looks like they reduced the amount of tables that used to be in here. Yeah, they definitely reduced the tables in there. There used to be a ton of tables in there. It looks like there's only about 10 tables in there altogether. This right here to my left is the 1133 building. It's another building that I consulted in. The 1155 building. And the building on the next block is the 1177 building. These were all the original skyscrapers that came into the area many years ago. A lot of these buildings at one time when they were built, they housed only one company, and then over the years, they became multi-tenant buildings. So when you come in these buildings, You know, it's not just one company. I'm gonna take this siren. Walk through here. It's a nice place to get some shade for a block. You got the Marsh McLennan building across the street. $11.80, another building I consulted in years ago. We had a new company go in here. And this Chick-fil-A is also another big one. This is another one that had a line around the corner when it first opened. It's been around for some time now. I want to say it's been open since 2016. Because at the time I was working in, at the 1251 building. Looks like we got some, oh, that guy's bleeding, oh man. Oy. Graphic content right there. He got a big gash on his ankle there. I wonder how that's going to affect my monetization. You know, when I do the, I'll give you a little funny story here. When you do, well, these guys are killing me here with the light. So I'm going through, I'm telling this guy right here. I pointed at him, I said, I'm going through. Whenever there's like an application you got to fill out when you upload your video, and one of the things is, you know, graphic content, blah blah blah, but I don't know if that'll qualify. I could blur it out. It's a Fox News building here. 1211. Now all these buildings are pretty much the same type of buildings. You got 1211, 1221, 1251. I think the next one would be 1271. And then over here is Rockefeller Center. And I've worked in every one of these buildings, by the way. I'm not gonna bore you with the details, but every one of these buildings I've worked in. I've worked in 3 of the Rockefeller buildings, including 30 Rock. I've been in 1221 right here. 1251. Some of you might know the building. 1251 is the building that during Christmas they put the big red Christmas ornaments in the center of the fountain here. This is also the scene of a really horrific accident. A girl came, I don't remember where she was from. She was a tourist, and she was sitting right there. We're gonna cross over in a second, I'll show you. It was all over the news when it happened. A taxi cab or car, I can't remember if it was a cab or just a regular car, went out of control, and she was sitting right over there on the corner, and the car ran right up on her and severed her leg off. So when I used to sit here and eat lunch, or I worked here, I used to come down here. I used to sit in the middle over here somewhere. Now this block right here, the great thing about working in 1251, I'll show you in a second, is they have the best food carts in all of, I think in all of New York City, right here. They got the Greek food cart. They got a food cart that I used to go to all the time called Steak Freak. And they're all lines up here on this street. And Steak Freak is still there, I could see it. It's up there. Yeah, they got all the food carts over here. Don't worry, I did not forget to show you guys Radio City. What I'll do is I'll wait till I get past the sun and then I'll turn around. There we go. All right, so here's Radio City. Take a little break here. Now every year, fun fact, if you're lucky enough, I was lucky because I was working right across the street, they always make the announcement for the next upcoming season for the Rockettes before the holidays, and what they do is they actually do a show right up on top of that sign. I have a video of it somewhere, but they will do like a whole promotion little show up there on the right on top of that sign. Usually in the morning, and that's how they kick off the holiday season. You got to be lucky enough to be out here when it happens, because it only goes down, I think it only goes down for like an hour. But this is the another fun building I remember. So SNY used to be here, Sports New York, or whatever the acronym is. It's basically the station for the Mets and the Nets here in New York. They used to be in here, and now it's MLB. I'm gonna make the cross. Another building I worked in, the UBS building here. This is the UBS building on the corner of 6th and 51st. And this particular location gives me a lot of, I don't want to say bad memories, but it was definitely not one of the funnest jobs I had. 1285, it was a law firm. A very well-known law firm is in here. Might as well just say the name, Paul Weiss. And I worked there for a number of months. We were doing upgrades. We were upgrading all their systems, and it just wasn't always, let's just say, the process wasn't streamlined very well, but we got through it. I wound up leaving from my last job that I had before I left the career. Oh yeah. Another building I worked in. I have tons of memories watching this big building get built over the years. Definitely one of the more interesting architecture shapes in the city. All right, here's a time check. It's almost 11:15. according to that clock up there. And we are almost done with the walk. So we need to get to 59th Street. So you got a lot of these cops, they chirp the lights because they don't want people double parking and stuff. But there's a hotel right here, and that's why they're all stopped over here. The taxis are allowed to be here, but if you're on the next lane out, you're gonna get chirped. And they're gonna tell you to move. One last building I worked in here on 6th Avenue, and this is the last one. Let me get into a position that I could show you the building. There are some trees. And I know that they have a public space here and stuff, so. Fifth Street. Now these are streets I want to get across. I don't want to wait for these lights because these lights are a little long sometimes. You gotta wait. And then we want to go through the crosswalk here, but like I was saying earlier, I make a lot of eye contact with the drivers. Not just to make eye contact, but make sure that they're looking. Because there are times where you can see that they're actually on a cell phone. And if that's the case, then you gotta just stop. Just let them go through. Don't try to be a hero against a 1-ton car. People forget the cars weigh about a ton, and it doesn't matter how much you weigh, they're gonna run right over you. A lot of scaffolding down here.
50% off, guys.
Well, we're getting close to the ends of the walk, so we are about to hit 57th Street. We're gonna slow down here for a second because that light is gonna change, so I don't want to get stuck, so I'll walk really slow until the next green light. We're hitting the area where all the hotels are by Central Park. Well, it looks like I got stopped anyway. All that slow walking didn't do anything for me.
Alright, well then I'll see you Thursday.
That's what we'll do. We will cross over and we will end it on that side of 6th. Two more blocks. So we will walk through here. I can't even tell what that music is. It's very loud. This is one of the rare occasions where the scaffolding, to make sure the scaffolding looks really nice, because you have some high-end restaurants over here and they don't want to lose customers, so they make sure to really decorate the under skin of the scaffoldings here so it looks more inviting. All right, so this could be a dangerous cross, so I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna watch myself here. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for taking a walk. Busy 6th Avenue. We have made it to the end safely. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for taking a walk on this warm summer morning. It's coming up on 11:30 right now. We are just outside Central Park. And I think in the next walk, we will do a little walking in there. So stay tuned for that. All right. Take care, everyone, and I will catch everyone on the next one. Bye-bye.